Hey, it's Jeremy from OpticHouse.com. So, I have been reading Telling Lies for Fun and Profit by Lawrence Block. It's a writing guide, sort of a how to, not really a how to, but it's a collection of articles from Lawrence Block's column in Writer's Digest. And I am finding the column very, very helpful. It's given me a lot to think about in terms of plot structure, character development, approach to the craft of writing. And I specifically wanted to mention it during a drawing video because I had an interesting thought as I was reading a passage. It mentions a sentiment that I've heard many writers mention to me over the years, which is that writers frequently say they hate writing, they love having written. So, the actual act of writing, the process tends to be, pretty unpleasant for a lot of writers. Just, writing is hard work and it's hard mental work. You can't shut off and relax and let go. You have to stay focused, work on a lot of different levels. It's like forced chess playing for several hours at a time. That said, for myself, I can't say that I love writing, but the writing process for me is a lot more enjoyable, specifically because I'm drawing. I'm drawing while I'm writing. Drawing is intrinsically wrapped up in the writing process for me. If I'm having trouble with an outline and working out a story element, I'll just sit down and doodle for a little while, and usually I'll kind of draw my way through the answers to the story problem. If nothing else, it helps my brain, even if the drawing doesn't provide the answers I'm looking for, it relaxes my brain enough that I can figure out what it is that I'm struggling with or a new way to approach it. And it occurred to me, why does this have to be the purview of the visual storyteller? Why can't prose authors or comic book writers that don't primarily draw use this technique? I know that there's lots of writers who do draw a lot. I know that Grant Morrison is a accomplished artist and does a lot of thumbnails and character designs that he passes off to his collaborators. Also, Clive Barker is also a very well-known, established visual artist and shows a lot of his work in galleries. But I take figure drawing classes, and in those classes, they've got a lot of professional illustrators, artists that work in the animation industry. There's also a lot of art students in the program, people that are studying. But just as well, there's probably an equal mix of people that are hobbyists or people that are involved in some other creative field but don't necessarily draw full time. There's friends like I have a friend, an artist, Jamie Gamble, a writer named Jamie Gamble. He's a comic book writer. He also works in film and television, but he draws all the time. And at comic conventions, he'll do sketch cards of his characters or commissions for people. And over the years, I've watched him become, a pretty good artist for somebody who doesn't actually draw his books and, works more as a writer. I think that there's something that would be useful for any writer that's creatively or challengingly blocked. Maybe it's a good idea to look at taking some drawing classes just for fun. And then when you're sitting down and you're working on stuff, use the same approach that an artist might. Just sitting there and doodling, drawing a scene that you're having trouble with, or just letting your mind wander visually while you're working on a story problem. That act may make writing more pleasurable for you. The actual grunt work. The part that you hate, maybe drawing can help with that, because I really lean on the visual side whenever I'm having trouble with writing. So I'm not saying, wow, this is a brilliant thing I figured out and definitely do it. I'm saying, it's an idea I had, it might help. Give it a shot. What's the worst that could happen? If anything, drawing class is fun no matter what level of skill you're at. So give it a shot. That's it for now. Check out my website, optichouse.com. Go be creative.